Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting for Bedford Township for April 16th, 2024. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, if Pastor Nate with Compelled Church could open us up in prayer.
Thanks, God, for a beautiful day. Thanks for a wonderful place to live. Thanks, Lord, for leaders who give of their time and of their talents and the gifts that you give them to serve our township. I pray tonight you would encourage them. For leaders under so much fire nowadays. And I just pray, God, that this would be filled with the peace and the goodness that our township reflects and that you reflect upon us. We pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 2 is approval of the agenda. Anybody have anything to add?
Motion to approve the agenda is submitted.
Support. Okay, motion is supported by Mr. Bruning. Any discussion? Okay, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Peroni?
Aye, and the motion passed 7-0. Item 3, consent agenda. The minutes from the April 2nd, 2024 regular meeting of the Bedford Township Board, the general savings, pooled funds, and seizure reports from the treasurer for March 2024, the balance sheet and revenue expense report for the period ending March 31st, 2024.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Okay, motion is supported by Ms. Janaszek. Any discussion? Okay, moving on. Could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Peroni?
Aye, and the motion passed 7-0. Number 4 is Monroe County Sheriff's update.
Good evening, Joe Hammond with the Sheriff's Office. You have the stats from in the packet. I didn't see anything that stood out for the past month in terms of any the way the numbers came out. Would like to make a reminder, with the weather becoming better, we'll have increased pedestrian, bicycle, and even motorcycle traffic. So if everyone could please take a little extra time, make sure we're paying attention on the roadways, drive slowly. We'd appreciate that. So.
Especially being on the phones. You guys going to hammer on that this month?
Distracted driving, yes. That increases. We increase those patrols this time of year with, like you said, with the increase in pedestrian and bicycle traffic and motorcycle traffic. We want to keep an eye on that so that it only takes a split second to be looked down for a text, and next thing you know, you got a bicycle on top of your hood of your car. So.
Okay. Anybody have any comments, questions? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, you can actually ask it at the public comment up next.
Okay. Perfect.
And you can just hang out for a minute.
I'll just hang around. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, up next is public comment. Comments limited to 5 minutes for board agenda items only. You just got to come up to the microphone. State your name and address.
Okay.
Otherwise, the residents at home can't hear.
Okay, my name's Jeff Lizakowski. I live at 10012 Lewis Avenue in Temperance. And for the officer right here, we have an abundant supply of people just speeding by. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're riding your butt. I had a guy riding my butt doing through the park at 25 miles an hour. He's on my butt. And I went like this to him when I got up to the light, and he went like this to me, like he was going to get out of the car and shoot me. And it's like, you know, I don't get it. I mean, and it's every day. And to my left, to my right, across the street, everybody there has
Sir,
kids.
if you could just address the board, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Well, everybody there has kids, and it's like it's ridiculous. And I have a friend, Barbara, who lost 2 children on Stearns Road quite some time ago now because some idiot driver went off the road and killed them both. And it still hurts her and it still hurts us because we're friends. but it's gotten out of control. I mean, seriously. I don't care if you give them a ticket. As long as you show presence there, they slow down. Because I see brake lights every time I see an officer go driving by. You can see the brake lights on cars that, oh gosh, I'm going to get a ticket. Well, yeah, you should get a ticket. And I guarantee you that I don't know how many times that by the park and the double yellow, they've passed me because I'm doing 25 and a 25, and then it goes to 35, and they go around me because they're impatient as all get out. So I would just appreciate, for the sake of the kids that live around my house, and for the, like the officer said, the kids that are walking, the bikers, and stuff like that. We've already had 2 people that I know of pass away on Lewis Avenue. One was a motorcycle driver that was speeding by Chilinos, and I believe the car pulled out of Chilinos and he ran into the car, but he was excessive speed. And then another guy right on Lewis by, was it Housel's Nursery, that went off the road and hit the trees and died. I mean, we got to be doing something. I see people go through stop signs on the phone. I would just like something done, not necessarily that you burn all the people that you catch. I understand, but I don't understand why they're driving like idiots. And that's why I'm here today.
Well, we appreciate your comments, and I'm sure that'll be taken back to the sheriff and be looked at.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Gail Kane, 1056 West Temperance. Well, in response to that gentleman, which would be the sheriff's numbers, so number 4, we have a big problem, and I've been trying to take care of it through the state. Lewis and Temperance intersection is not safe, and it's due to the markings that were put down there when they did the revitalization. There was a plan in process prior to that, which would not have allowed those particular markings, because you have to use your markings to be road calming, traffic calming, and that's what the Temperance Action Committee had tried to do. The current striping is not conducive to the well-being of anyone in that intersection, despite the fact that there's walk and don't walk signs. Secondly, the 8C. I have a question regarding the tile replacement versus the culverts that we did with ARPA money. Is there a reason why that tile failed and why it wasn't in bad shape when we first started to pay for those in the past? I am concerned in the last 8 years we have not had an official road committee as we had previously. And maybe instead of the sheriff every single month, we rotate and get the Monroe County people here, not their board. Their board is, they don't run the day-to-day, but someone that's from the administration of the road commission to give us reports on what's going on, where they're at with certain projects, what we're to expect. It would only be them that could really answer that particular question, because we don't have a road committee that meets with those people. And I just think we should go back to that practice. That's it. Thanks.
Any more comments? Okay. Thank you for your comments. Okay, moving on to vouchers for payment. Ms. Hirschberger.
I'd like to make a motion that the following vouchers be approved for payment. General Fund, $52,571.20. Fire District Fund, $6,385.56. Fire Equipment, $18,671.10. Downtown Development, $55.62. Library Operating, $580.65. Building Department, $413.42. Sewer O&M Fund, $6,641.16. Trust and Agency Fund, $2,154, for a grand total of $87,472.71.
Support.
Okay, motion is supported by Ms. Janizek. Any discussion? Okay, could you call the roll, please?
Hirschberger says aye. Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 7-0. Okay, B, appointment to the Library Advisory Board. I am looking for the board to approve Helen Plua to the Library Advisory Board, term ending 12/31/24. Ms. Plua is a registered nurse and a longtime resident of Bedford. In addition, she is a volunteer in the Bedford Public Schools and an 18-year volunteer at the Bedford Township Library. Ms. Plua will be a great addition to the Library Advisory Board. Did everybody have a chance to look at the other applications? And is satisfied with what we have? Look for well, that is my motion. I look for support.
Support.
Okay, motion is supported by Mr. Gore. Any more discussion? Okay, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Peroni?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye.
Okay, the motion passed 7-0. Okay, item 8C. I'm looking for the board to approve the tile replacement contract with Monroe County Road Commission. This was discovered after the engineering was done that this tile needs to be replaced. The MCRC is looking at a 50% cost share replacement with it. So I'll make a motion that we approve the contract with Monroe County Road Commission in the amount of $4,620 for the tile replacement located by 2285 Erie Road.
Support.
A motion is supported, Mr. Montroy. Any discussion?
You mentioned our portion. We should do the total cost and then our portion. So the total
Cost is $92.40. Our portion is $46.20. Okay. Could you call the roll, please?
I just want to mention this is budgeted in our 25 budget for those who need to know that. Mr. Peroni?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye.
Okay, the motion passed 7-0. Item 8D, approve the purchase of a 2023 Ford F-350 4x4. Mr. Pryor, you were working on this with Mr. Thatcher.
Our 1995 dump is quite old, so we're going to repair it, but it's not a vehicle you're going to want to use for heavy-duty loads and using it every single day. So Pat and I started to work on this. We were able to find this dump truck, which is a smaller truck, so that we can also get it into the cemeteries. It's not easy to find existing trucks as well on the Michigan My Deal, because that's where we get a good discount. So Pat and I started scouring dealers and that type of thing, so we were able to find this truck. We don't need a snow plow. It's ready to go. There's nothing more that we need to add to it. So,
Anybody have any questions? Okay. This is something we added in the budget as well. So I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase of a new 2023 Ford F-450 4x4. This truck would replace the 1995 Ford F-350. The truck is being purchased off the Michigan My Deal program through Gorno Ford in the amount of $69,187.
Support.
Okay, motion is supported, Mr. Bruning. Any discussion? Ms. Hirschberger?
Just a friendly amendment needed, that in the motion we put that this money is being pulled from the fund balance, Fund 447, which is the capital asset revolving fund, so it can come out of this year's budget.
Okay, accept.
Same.
Okay. Could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Peroni?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Ms. Janusik?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye.
Okay, the motion passed 7-0. Item 8E, approve the purchase of audio-video equipment for the library. Come on up. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing really good.
Hi, I'm Jody Russ. I'm the community librarian at the Bedford branch. Dee Ellsworth was supposed to be here to help me speak about this, and she texted me just a few minutes ago saying she wasn't feeling well. So we don't need to be around her, I guess, when she's not feeling well. So the idea for this is purchase equipment that would allow us to do both podcasting and video creation, and then converting one of the small meeting rooms to make it more usable for that purpose, which would involve some sound, not proofing, but sound control panels being installed, some room darkening blinds, and changing the furniture and lighting lay out a little bit. The equipment itself would be portable, so we would have it in cases that we would keep it in the back room. Right at this particular time, we have laptops already available for people to borrow when they're in the building that we keep in the back room to keep them all always charged, and that way we have better control over who has what when. We would do the same kind of thing with this equipment. So there would be an audio component if somebody truly just wanted to do a podcast, and then there'd also be a video component. They would check those items out to use in the room space that we have available, that we would create, and then be able to create their content, and then they'd turn them back into us. They would then upload those themselves, you know, however they want to do that. Our thought being people could use this if they're doing some kind of a nonprofit fundraising thing, if they're doing, like our garden tour is a perfect example of something that we could get some more publicity out about, things like that. We partner with all kinds of different organizations at the library, so we would be able to get some more information out about all the things they do. County health departments coming in doing programs every week. We've got hospice coming in doing programs. So trying to get the word out about those things. But then, you know, if somebody's doing a spaghetti dinner fundraiser, for instance, and they just wanted to put out a video about it to advertise for it, or something, you know, they could come in and create that content themselves. And question?
So will the library be doing a podcast?
The staff would be doing podcasts about the events that we have happening in the library.
You'll have your own podcast, like, you know, that you guys put out on your Facebook page then or something?
Monroe County Library System has a podcast that's separate from what this would be. This would be Bedford oriented that we would use this for. But this is really to purchase for the public to use too, not just us.
Is this something that when the public comes that you guys will take and hook up for them and tear down for them?
We have instructions for it. It'll be something we can assist with for sure. That's what we do right now with, like we just did that for somebody in our community room. So we haven't, you know, we have the cords that they need. We have laptops that they can borrow. We already do that for people who are using any of our spaces. So yes, we would be able to do that.
That would make me a little nervous, them taking all the equipment over there and tearing it down and bringing it back. And so do you feel like there's a need for this? How are you guys gauging this as a need?
I think that this is one of those things that creates its own demand. Once we put the word out that this stuff is available, people will come and partake in it. I think it's going to be more useful it's not for somebody to start their own, you know, their own YouTube channel kind of thing. It's going to be for special events that somebody doesn't already have equipment that not that you can't just use your phone, obviously.
I just have one more question before you ask yours, Jill. So if podcasters, can they get on a regular schedule every single week if they do podcasts every single week? Is it something that 5 years down the road that it'd be hard to get use of it because you have so many podcasters?
That's something we potentially would have to address if that happens. I don't know the answer to that. I can't imagine that it would
get that big,
get that crazy schedule-wise, I guess, but it's always possible.
Well, Mr. Gore?
So I'm looking at the paperwork here, and there's several numbers on here. The first part is the total cost of the project is approximately $5,200 plus electrical fees. Then the next line, some of the equipment is $39,800 or up to $4,000, and then on the other pages there's another $1,100, almost $1,200. What is the total cost of the project that you're asking for? Do you want a dollar amount not to exceed, or are you asking for an actual dollar amount?
The cost of the project is the room improvement. The $5,200 is the room improvement, and the equipment is the $4,000 in the next paragraph down.
So you're looking at least $9,000 plus electrical fees.
Correct.
Okay, and then what about the almost $1,200 on the next page?
That's part of what's in.
Because I'm seeing a lot of approximate and plus fees. What are you looking just for us to approve, like not to exceed $10,000?
That totally would work. The $5,200 is the cost of the $1,100 you see on the second page, or technically it's my third page, is what's included in that $5,200 in the first paragraph.
Okay.
And then the $4,000 is the equipment. I'm sorry, this is one of those documents that made sense when I did it, and now that I'm looking at it from the questions you're asking me, Joe, I'm like, holy moly, I didn't make that very clear, did I?
1,100.
Well, I think the important thing is if the board supports this, if it's something the board, sees the need, to spend the kind of dollars on it.
And with
And
this,
then we could set the number at it.
yeah, and it's the library millage money, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But the board approves.
Right, I understand.
So I mean, it's if the board doesn't see it. Oh, Mr. Steiner, go ahead.
So, Jody, I applaud you, for doing the numbers and looking at various avenues to try to get the best cost. The one question that one of the most important, two of them, is warranty on the equipment, and number two, Amazon. Pretty much, it's a straightforward purchase. You're done. Obviously, Best Buy, a retailer, you're going to buy it. You'll have a certain percentage of warranty there. The other companies, what is it?
B&H Auto,
Video.
audio, video.
So there's a company that obviously they do service work, it sounds like. And then I would assume that AVI is probably the same. They will do service type work. So if there's ever any issues, if we went with the Amazon bid, where do we stand on serviceability, getting it serviced? What kind of warranty compared to the other ones? Do we have that? Or?
All of those equipment, so the equipment is the same from all of those different sources, and the warranties that are on it are equipment driven, not vendor driven. Like Best Buy doesn't warranty anything any better than the warranty that comes
so
with the
these are
thing
all
that
gonna
you're
be
purchasing.
identical.
Right. So there are most of those, and I didn't include that in this, and I don't have that handy, but most of those had some kind of a limited 1-year warranty on parts and use, that it keeps working. But other than that, that's pretty much all the warranty that those come with.
Yeah, most electronics, they give you about a year on,
Right.
and then they basically tell you to go buy a new one.
Right.
After that. I just wanted to ask that question, and then installation, the electrician be able to do all that?
Yeah, none of this would actually require any installation. This is all stuff that you plug and play. I mean, it's got cables that you plug in. What the electrician needs to do is change the drop for the outlet in the room, change the lighting in the room, because right now it's fluorescent lights, and it would need to get changed to like some track lighting where you'd be able to make some adjustments with that. I think that's all there was for the electrician to do, was an outlet and the lights. And then the township maintenance guys, who I've already met with Pat and Adam about this, just to make sure I didn't want to run anything by anybody that they didn't feel they could do. So it's acoustical panels, which you guys see, if you go to church, for instance, there's acoustical panels on walls in churches so that sound's not reverberating all over the place. So a few of those on the walls, because it's not a very large room, so it wouldn't take very much. And then the table that's currently in there, we would need to rotate it so that people could sit on either side of it, because right now it's like up against a wall and you can't really make it work that way, and it's not the right size to do this with. So we would need that new table for that space, and room darkening blinds so we'd have control over the light, which I'm not gonna lie makes me cringe a little bit thinking about the kids coming over. But we would make sure those blinds would only go down when people were in there doing the podcasting video stuff.
As usual, Jody, you do your homework. So, good job on that.
Thanks.
That's all.
Just a quick question, and I don't know how you do this with the other equipment that you loan out, but if it gets broke, do you hold those people accountable, or
We
how
do.
does that work?
We do. Yeah. So there's a charge instituted if any equipment breaks.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'd just be the value of the equipment. Like that gets put in as part of when they check an item out. Like right now, I think our laptops are $250, if I can remember correctly. If somebody either doesn't return it or something catastrophic happens to it, they get charged $250. It's not. You should see the laptops before you get excited about that.
No bells and whistles on those, Todd.
We need a new laptop.
Okay, any more questions, comments? Okay, I look for a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve the new podcasting equipment for the library in the amount of not to exceed $10,000 to come out of the library millage.
Support. Okay, motion is supported by Mr. Bruning. Any more discussion? Okay, let's call.
This will come out of the current budget. They have the money budgeted, and it's in their capital outlay, just so everyone's aware.
Fine with that.
Fine with that.
Okay, let's call the roll, please.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Steiner?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Peroni?
Aye, the motion passed 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jody.
Okay, number 10, or number 9 is comments from the public. Comments limited to 2 minutes.
Takes me a minute to get here. I'm old. Lamar Frederick, 3254 Deer Creek Drive. I have 3 issues that I want to address. One of them is my favorite, the roundabout. I checked with the road commission. It has been moved from this fiscal year to 25. I'm a little bit concerned because now it's about 2 years late, and I have no idea what's going to happen now with the bids. Remember, the grant is a fixed number, and I don't know where you're going to be a year from now. Let's assume it goes out in October or November for build for next year. I don't know where you're thinking, because it may be a lot more than the grant and the amount that this board and the road commission said they would contribute. I was at breakfast the other day, and I heard some rumors about the maintenance building, that there's some issues involved with the maintenance building, that the costs have gone up quite a bit. There's something about utilities and some other issues that are involved with the maintenance building. They said it was about $400,000 more than what it was. I don't know, but I'm just hearing there's out in the public that it's out of control. I don't know if it is or it isn't. The last thing is, tonight you purchased 2 items, and you told the public where the money's coming from. You didn't tell us where the money's coming from the tile replacement. And in the past, you've been buying stuff, and you never put in the motion where the funds are coming from. Now, that may be, and they are sometimes in your packet, but the public who's watching don't see it. So I would recommend that you go in the future, if you're going to buy something, tell the public out here where it's coming from, the money. Is it ARPA? Is it on the budget? Has it been budgeted? Is it coming from some other special fund? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Pat Mahoney, 1433 Winding Way, Temperance. I'm a part of a team of 4 volunteers who started a volunteer income tax assistance site at the Bedford Public Library this past tax season. VITA, our tax preparation site, certified and sanctioned by the IRS. This was our first year in Bedford, and we completed 73 returns at no charge for our clients. Unfortunately, there were a few that we couldn't because they were out of our scope, but it was a pretty successful event. Cost for paying an income prep tax service is really egregious these days, and I just want to reach out and say publicly I thank Nancy Schiffer, Ronnie Smith, and Rosanna Eitner for donating their time. It was about 9 weeks every Monday, so I really appreciate their help. I also want to thank Jody Russ, because she was like, my hero, or should I say heroine. She and her staff were just awesome for us. They scheduled appointments, provided paper, ink, and just made us feel welcome. And luckily, she invited us back next year. So thank you, Jody. Appreciate all your help. I also want to thank Bedford resident John Nyman for donating a printer we use, Sylvan Studios in Sylvania for donating name tags, and Directions Credit Union for donating pens. We had a zero budget, so it was really nice when everybody provided everything we needed. It was really cool. We want to continue doing this next year, and now's the ask. If there's anybody in our community that would like to donate a day a week during tax season to help people out with this, that would be awesome. Just get a hold of Jody at the library. She'll forward the names on to me. And then the last thing I just want to mention is I just want to announce the Bedford, I'm going to switch hats here, Bedford Township Veterans Golf Outing is June 22nd. at Bedford Hills Golf Club. We're looking for, players, $90 a player, looking for teams, or if you're an individual, put you on a team. And then we're also looking for sponsors. We need a title sponsor, $1,500, Freedom Circle, $300, and then whole sponsors, $75. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good evening. My name is Dwight Overby. I live at 9091 Pheasant Drive. Been here 5 years. I really enjoy our community. I would like to answer, I'm concerned about our sewer. It seems like every month it's different, my bill, and it's went up quite a bit since I moved in. I know everything has rose too, so I understand that, but I'm on a fixed income, I'm retired. Am I going to be able to stay here? That's my concern. It's went up quite a bit since I moved in 19. How exactly is that configured? My bill, so that is there some way that, that it's tracked just from a neighborhood or what?
Krista, our treasurer, will answer you at her public comment. At her comment. She'll
Okay.
answer your question.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Good evening, Logan Tisdale, 1308 Brandywine Street, Temperance, Michigan. I've been a resident here in Bedford Township now for 43 years. I came here in 1982 as a sergeant at the Michigan State Police Post at Erie. I served there for 9 years, the last 8 years as a detective sergeant. I served my country 3 years in the U.S. Army, 28 months overseas. I've been attending township meetings now for over 10 years, consistently. I've probably spoken up here as many times as most people have. I'm announcing that I want to run for Bedford Township trustee in 2024. I'm going to be filing this week. I'm going to file as a Republican. I've been a conservative Republican my entire life. However, saying that, I believe that it's the responsibility of every elected official to serve everyone fairly, honestly, with respect, and that official should be of the highest integrity and moral character. I'll have to let people judge that for themselves. I guarantee you, if I'm elected, I will be a strong advocate for the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. I've spoken with Troy. I ran 2020 for sheriff. Troy won that election. I think he's doing a good job down here. I'm going to be a strong advocate for police presence here in Bedford. I think that's very important. I'm going to be a strong advocate for the fire department, and I'm going to be a strong advocate for the ordnance department. That's right within my wheelhouse, because that's what I've been talking about for years now. So that's not going to change if I'm elected. I want to see safe schools, safe businesses, and improved roads. Pretty much simple platform, nothing out of the ordinary. I think people know who I am by now. I'm going to run a simple campaign, and I hope that people prayerfully consider me in 2024 for Bedford Township trustee. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments.
Gail Kane, 1056 West Temperance. We have April 25th as of 5 p.m. 26th, 27th, and 28th will be the Adopt-A-Road pickup times. I'm asking everyone to please be careful. I've had many of our sponsors report that they've had people that they believe was actually trying to hit them as they were trying to clear the litter from the roadsides. They will have the red bags. Most of them have a vest. I have already let the Sheriff's Department know that these are the dates, but these people go out. I've got over 25 groups, almost 40 groups. We cover the primary roads in the township. I still have some available, but these people go out and they pick up the trash, and some of them have children over 9 years of age that help do the pickups. So this is the first one, so they'll be out there. It'll take a lot of time. We got a lot of water. The ditches are full. I really don't want to see anybody drown because they have to jump out of the way of a car. So I appreciate it, and I will be filing a complaint with ordinance, as I usually do, to help us get rid of the illegal signage along our roadsides. So I've been doing that in collaboration with our Adopt-A-Road program, because that's blight, and it's roadside trash. So instead of us removing them, I have the ordinance department go out and take care of it. That's their job. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Any more comments?
Good evening. I'll introduce myself as Kyle Dosh, 6508 Douglas Road, Lambertville, Michigan. Just coming up here to let everyone know publicly I have filed my candidacy paperwork to run for 2024 election. Bedford Township trustee as a Republican candidate. Wrapping up 6 years on the Board of Zoning Appeals. I've served for 2 years as chairman on that board. Really looking to take the next step to help our township and move into a larger role in supporting our community. I'm a lifelong resident. I'm a graduate of Bedford High School. Maintaining my support for fire and EMS. Chief Klinger knows I was a fire explorer many years ago when I was a high school student, and still have a strong support for them and our law enforcement. I bring with me many years of project management experience in the construction and utility industry, managing government contracts, including complex remediation projects such as the work that's going on at the pilot right now and up in Ottawa Lake. Continue to be a supporter of our community, and as I move into this role, hopefully, with the citizens' support of this township, I look forward to serving the businesses and citizens with respect and dignity and continue to maintain open lines of communication and fiscal responsibility in our township. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any more comments? Okay, comments from board members. Mr. Steiner?
Just a similar one I brought up a couple months back, that next Tuesday is the next Flag City Honor Flight departing Toledo Express. I will have the honor of serving on that flight as a chaperone to a veteran. It's going to be a great experience, and can't wait to give a quick report when I get back from that experience. I've mentioned to a couple of our veterans here, and Ms. Hirschberger's husband veterans, I mentioned to them to come out and attend the reception with me when we return. I hear it's a tremendous event, so looking forward to it.
Mr. Matre?
Nothing from me.
And Mr. Gore?
Just everybody have a good weekend.
Mr. Bruning?
Everybody have a good night, good week, good weekend. And I'd also like to say last Saturday, they had the dedication for the Bedford softball field. Steinman gets a lot of credit for getting the donors to get that. It is really a nice field over there. Mm-hmm. You can watch the softball game too. It was pretty good. But as far as sports, that's all I know is going on with Bedford right now. The softball and lacrosse have started. So good luck to the Mules. That's all.
Mr. Januzek?
In regards to the question that was brought up earlier about sewer, your sewer rates stayed the same as what they were last year. They did not go up this year. But the sewer bill is calculated off of your water consumption. It's based on how much water is used. South County Water, they go out and read your meter. They send it to us here at the township. If you do water your grass and you don't have a secondary meter, that water affects your sewer bill. So if you don't want that to happen, we recommend you contact South County Water for a secondary meter. If you have any further questions, you can call my office or stop in and see us, and we can look into your account a little more if you have any more questions. Everyone else have a good week.
Ms. Hirschberger?
We are still accepting applications for election inspectors. If anyone's interested, please stop in my office and fill out an application. And I don't know if you're going to touch on this, Paul, but I'm going to say it anyway. On our website, we are accepting bids for noxious weeds and grass mowing. The bids are due. They're sealed bids. They are due by April 25th at 4 p.m. That's all.
Okay. Mr. Frederick, you've been concerned about the roundabout since day one. So let's not talk about being concerned the last couple of years. So obviously this project just hasn't worked out very well. You know, timing, coronavirus, things just have not worked out the best. We didn't get enough money. The road commission didn't go after enough money in the beginning. So yeah, it's just been one of them projects. The costs have gone up a lot in the last couple of years. So the road commission just in the last couple months, and I hesitated to say much because then they get 15,000 FOIAs. So I kind of let the smoke settle for a minute, and obviously you got the information, which is fine. So they asked for more money from the state, and the state said no. So they did ask for an extension until 2025, and it was granted. So they're going to wait till next year, look at how bids are, because obviously everybody knows with the funds that were given from the state for the roads in the state as a whole, all the contractors have been gobbled up in the state, and that's a lot of the reason prices are so high up with construction costs. So maybe next year when things settle down, it'll go down. We'll have a new board. Maybe the board will be more supportive with it. I don't know. So they asked to wait. So that's going to be on hold till next year. The diesel spill is under control in Ottawa Lake. Eagle is involved with that on a daily basis. So I'm glad to see that's under control. We're having a lot of drain issues. Be patient. The road commission at this time of the year, they're backed up with it, and sometimes they're a month out. But just make sure you keep calling and make sure you're on their schedule. Ms. Keene, as far as the on-street parking in Temperance, I have no idea what you're talking about. The business owners are very happy with it. They love the extra parking. Their patrons use it. I use it. I use businesses in downtown Temperance and love the parking in the street. So I have no idea what you're talking about. And I would hope that this board never gets rid of those and continues on with the on-street parking and the bike lanes, because people use them and they like them. So other than that, I was going to talk about the grass cutting and the Bedford Veterans Golf Outing. So get out and support your veterans and their committee. They have a whole new committee. They went through a time where they had a lot of issues with the veterans committee, but that's all gone. They have a whole new committee, a whole new group working on it. Mr. Pryor is working on this golf outing, I know, and they're working very hard to get a lot of people to get involved with it. And so they've honed in on what they do as a veterans organization. In the beginning, they're kind of all over the map with what they did, and so now they believe they've honed in on some of the things that they take care of for people. I know when my grandma was sick, she called and they took care of working with her with all of her paperwork to see what funding she could get at Hampton Manor or wherever she was going, because her husband was a veteran. So they're very helpful. So it's a great resource. So support them. Other than that, Mr. Gore.
$400,000 in overages on the maintenance building that we don't know about.
Listen, when you hear stuff at going to breakfast with the retired, I don't know what the heck he's talking about. So I would recommend just making a phone call and stop listening to people at breakfast. So, all right, just give me a call. But if it's $400,000, it's somebody saying that, because we got a budget from an engineer that the $2.8 million, and it's 14%. With costs that could, are built into it. Mm-hmm. If it comes in over that, we deny it, and or whatever, But as of right now, we are having a little bit of an issue where we're going to get the sewer coming off of. We're looking at the old sheriff's building, and there's some things, but it's normal construction stuff. The costs haven't gone up $400,000, so we're good. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourned.